take you back to the early 1980s, when there was an attempt made to launch the Uruguay round, or what could have become the Uruguay round. That launch failed. The GATT contracting parties were unable to launch a round at that time. And after that failure, the multilateral system seemed to go downhill. We saw a dramatic increase in the use of unilateral actions, particularly by the United States. We saw a tremendous proliferation of regional agreements, a bit like what we're seeing today. And we also saw a proliferation of voluntary restraint agreements. In fact, some commentators said the GATT is dead. The multilateral system is over. What were your views back in those times? Did you feel that the system was really in a serious crisis?
Yes, I remember that pretty well. There was a great wave of protectionism throughout the world at that moment. It was increasing all the time. Protectionist pressures were everywhere. And contracting parties of GATT all knew what they wanted individually, but they weren't apparently very ready to give up anything in exchange. In other words, plenty of claims by everybody, but nobody showing a great deal of flexibility of what they were ready to accept in exchange. In other words, nobody seemed to be ready to bargain. And I think that's essentially what happened there. That there was a great deal of discussion, committees, commissions, reports, but nothing happened. Exactly as you said. And as time went by, and the system went into a crisis, you could say it was in a crisis, it became abundantly clear that the way to overcome the institutional crisis and to face protectionist pressures was to set up a new big round to liberalize world trading conditions. And that's what happened with the Uruguay round. The Uruguay round was not the first time when the GATT had a round to stop protectionist pressures, to revert them. So that's why I think we can say that the Uruguay round had a very big agenda, because the dangers were very great as well. So the response was a big negotiating agenda to revert protectionist pressures and to overcome the institutional crisis. So that's how I would look upon events, and that's how I would look upon the reasons why the Uruguay round had such a big, strong working agenda.